Hear me no OTR.com. Hear me no Steve. R.I.P. Hear me no OTR.
And you know what I mean, when that cop called me and told me to come there, and I got there, and you know, and he told me to sit down. I said, why, what's the problem? And then he's like, you know, there's an accident, da, da, da. And like it like as he was talking, it was like everything was in slow motion, because I drove right past that accident. You know what I mean? All I saw was the street blocked off, and I saw a car, a white neon, turn sideways. So I thought it was just like a T-bone. I didn't even think it was Steve, right? So then when he told me that, and he's like, you know, he passed away, whatever. Like my first, like, I don't know, it was so much rage that I kind of lunged at the cop, you know, because like I wanted him to take those words back, you know, and like it hurt so much. Like I don't even know, even now talking about it, I kind of get like choked up, because it was so, you know what I mean. And then to call these guys and tell them they got to get to Steve's house right away, you know, and like I'm telling you, man, it was like, I don't know. I watched all these guys come racing down, and for me to sit there just like how I'm sitting here talking to you guys, to tell them, I'm like, we were all grown ass men at the time, and everybody hit the ground. Like I'm watching members just hit the ground, bam, bam, bam. You know, I think Johnson smashed the car, didn't he?
Yeah.
Took his helmet, smashed somebody's car on the street. Like it was crazy. The cops even called backup for us because they weren't sure what we were gonna do. You know, so it's like, I don't know. It was a horrible experience, man. You know, I don't ever want to go through that. So please, you guys, be safe. I know I might not ride the smartest at all times, but I don't know.
That's the whole point of this. Is like when we first started, is we picked up all these stragglers, right? And he made us. I remember giving a speech at fucking Wrights and Highway 2. I don't care if we don't know them. They're riding with our pack. We need to make sure they're all right. And then that hospital that night, anybody that was there that night in the hospital, that's the night we met Steve's family. I met Tracy twice before, but that was the first night. I remember you guys walking in, and your dad comes up, and he looks at me, and he's like, who are all these people?
Yeah,
there is bikes lined up at Ajax Hospital.
Yeah.
Security was like, I'm not going to ask anyone to move shit, because there's like fucking 300 people here now.
Yeah.
He tried at the beginning, and then people are pouring in.
All night long.
All night long.
Crazy.
And honestly, like, with all due respect, you guys, I know it's hard, but the best thing you did for us is let us see him one more time in that hospital bed. I know we lost him that day, but just walking in, being able to grab him one last time, for me, I think that made it so much better.
Even if you hated him, you loved him, right? And if you loved him, you really loved him, like, because you know him. Like, if you just stood there and had a conversation with him, he would tell you everything. He held nothing back. Like, he wasn't shy about how he felt about someone. Right? He was just a genuine, nice guy. He had issues too, but who doesn't, right? And I used to work with him a lot, so I saw more than he saw family, like 8 hours a day, like sometimes more. Then, like, he's into castles and stuff, right? But he talked to me about it, and he's telling me places to go and stuff. But at that time, I couldn't go anywhere, right? I was like married, and my kids were young, and like it was difficult. But like I was actually interested. It's the way that he explained it, and like if you knew something, you'd be like, okay, castles, whatever. He could tell you like who lived there in 1776, and like you know, like he'd go on and on and on and on, right? And he researched everything. He's a very smart guy. Like even before he got his bike, like he'd be asking questions, and like he'd gather information, put it all together, make it his own, and then do well with it. And I think that's what he did with OTR too. Because I remember he came with a binder full of papers and stuff, and he's like, these are the guys riding over here, these are these guys, and I think he spoke to all of them. I wasn't there, but I know he did. And he'd tell me people that I had no idea who they were. I never knew about bike clubs back then. And he'd tell me, these guys do this, and this is what they do, and I'm doing this, this, and this. These are my blueprints for the patch. And you know, like he went all out. And he didn't just make a club from nothing, and like an idea, and then get people to join, like you have a bike, let's go, right? He tried to find out exactly what he wanted, and then he'd get people in, and I think he just kind of molded it to what he wanted. And if someone, I'm sure, was out of line, he would come out and say it, right? So this club, I think, was started from a completely different aspect of any other club, and it's from this one person. And that's what makes it actually really special.
Steal the Curious George? And I'm like, no, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, there's a tow truck in front of me with the Curious George strapped to the back. And I'm like, bro, I swear to fucking God I didn't take it. And he goes, "You're full of shit." And I'm like, "No." And he got mad. And he called Tracy. And that's the first time I actually spoke to Tracy. I'm like, "Listen, we'll bring it back."